And I'm Lori Weeks. Most of you know me as the Executive Director of Oakland Literacy Council, but you probably don't know Warren. Warren Black is a retired high school math teacher who's kind of come full circle. He's volunteering with us as a GED math tutor. And he was just telling me back in 1970 when he was drafted as a soldier in Vietnam, he volunteered as a GED tutor to the soldiers who hadn't finished high school. So this is sort of like, and kind of coming back full circle. But as a high school teacher, he taught everything from remedial math to calculus. And so he knows his math very well and what our learners, some of our learners come in and they're still at the elementary level with math. Some are at middle school or high school. He's really done it all. And we're lucky to have him here to give the first of two presentations. The second one will be happening next week, and that will be focused on fractions and multiplications. But today is really focused on use of the scientific calculator. So I'm going to turn it over to Warren. Warren, I just want to let you know that we're back with the loading symbol on your slide presentation.
That's
so I would just encourage you to just share the Google Slides and go from there rather than try to put it into presenter view.
Okay. Okay. Is it loading?
It says that you've started screen sharing. I'm just waiting. I'm not seeing the slide yet.
It says it's paused on my end here.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
All right.
All right.
Oh, you saw me a minute ago. This is my Vietnam experience teaching square roots by hand in 1970. It was part of the GED curriculum then, and thankfully it's changed. So this is what I hope to do today. We'll do some introductions, started by introducing me, and I'd like to hear from you guys, gals, and let's do that now and take a moment to introduce yourself to me and the other participants in the meeting, and also what you hope to accomplish, what your experience with the calculator is. Does everybody have a graphing calculator that's visible at this time? Hello? Can you unmute yourself, Brad, and tell me who you are?
I'm Brad Roth. I have done tutoring with both English and math, and I taught at Oakland University before I retired and started working with Oakland Literacy Council. And Warren and I have worked on presentations together. So what main thing I want is it's surprising how different TI-30A calculator is from the TI-30XS that they use in the GED test. So sometimes I get lost with my calculator skills because I'm used to a different calculator.
Right. And also the issue that I got from OLC was the TI-30XS 2XS, which is a little bit different too. So hopefully we'll kind of be all using the same computer calculator in a second. And this is what does the can you see the calculator, or are your pictures on top of the calculator? That's okay.
Can see
So,
it.
thank you, Audrey. If you want to introduce yourself, Kim, don't we have another man on you
Yeah,
too? Oh,
hi.
Nick.
I currently am tutoring somebody who's working toward their GED, but in reading right now. But I think that it would be beneficial for me to have this information and knowledge so that I can give him support. He may end up tutoring with a math tutor once he gets to that section of his GED preparation. But I think it's important for me to have that knowledge as well to help him.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Audrey?
Madhuri Hazra. I have been a math lover since 7th grade. But I have done higher math and all kinds of math. I have taught math in high school in India, in college, first few years of colleges in US, Wayne State and State University of New York at Buffalo and so on. But calculators did not come into the picture until my time had way past calculus. So I do know barely how to use it, you know, if I need to. But I never really used it for calculus, so that would be good for me. I'm tutoring GED, math, English, everything, so hopefully I'll be able to really use it.
I really appreciated you calling me yesterday and getting set up, and I hope it works well.
Thank
Marion?
You are on mute.
On mute, Marion? Can you find the unmute button? There. Can you speak, Marion? We can't hear you yet. Wasn't there one other person online as well?
Marion's here. She's not muted.
Maybe I muted myself.
No, we can hear you.
Okay,
Marion,
and I can hear you.
tell you that Marion has been like Brad and Maduri. She's taught English as a second language and math. So she's done both.
Okay.
Maybe her microphone just isn't connected today, but
Right. Does
that's
everybody have,
everybody, Warren.
does everybody have this computer or a calculator either on their phone or on the computer or on a screen that you can use it at this time?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
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 Okay. So yeah, I'm a retired engineer, so I've used calculators a lot, but I've never used a graphing calculator. And
Oh.
I've done the math tutoring, but I've never had a student that actually got high enough to need a graphing calculator.
Well, this isn't a graphing calculator. I first learned the graphing calculator in 1992, and it really revolutionized how I taught calculus. But as I was learning this one, I had to go through the video that I'll have a link to on the end if you want to go through more of it. But I just thought we'd practice a few keystrokes here at first and see how it goes. So take your calculator and see if you can add 2 plus 3. So this 2, can you see my arrow on the 2? I can't
Yes.
see. Put it over here. So 2, the plus sign on the last column, and then 3, and then enter. And hopefully your screen will show 5. Now I'm not showing it on my screen, but we can make that happen. Let's see, I'll go to this one. So 2 plus 3 equals enter. And let's try 5 plus -4. And you have to use a little small negative down on the first row. It says answer and then parentheses, negative, and 4, and enter. Now, if you want to go back up and change the first problem, press the up arrow, and we can edit that, maybe. I guess not, but you can see what you had calculated previously. The magic button is the clear button. Just clear everything out and start your next activity. So let's try deleting, inserting some stuff on the calculator. So go back to the calculator and let's just put in 5 plus 4 again. If you still have it, that's good. Oh, that's not my calculator. Here we go. 5 plus sorry about that. Okay, 5 plus 4 divided by 2. Now the calculator knows the order of operations, so hopefully this would say 7. Because 4 divided by 2, it's order of operations should be done first. And so I want to go back up here. Delete the end. Okay, 5 plus negative 4. And if we want to, we can delete up at the top in the top row. There's a delete button. And delete and put in anything you want. And if you go second delete, second delete is insert, and we can change that to a minus if we want. And then we have to delete the plus sign and calculate, center. And when you subtract the negative, you get 13, as good expected. Now, if we want to use that 13, we can do second negative sign, second negative, and now 13 is that answer. So if I want to multiply 13 times 4, find out how many cards are in the deck, that will do that. If we're not sure what the answer was, you can press the up arrow and you can see the line that came before. So if you want to edit some of the things you're doing, it's nice to do. But hopefully, question?
Hello. Yeah. How did you get up to 13, please?
I did the up arrow. So it,
My up arrow, the one right next to, oh, that up arrow. I'm sorry, I didn't use that.
so this can take you anywhere in the problem,
Okay.
maybe, sometimes.
Yeah, it did. Okay, thank you.
Okay. And so if we want to get 52 as our answer working in a problem, I can press, well, okay. And I can press second answer. Now I think I'm going to multiply those two. Yeah. So if I multiply 52 times 52, I get 2704. If I want to divide by 52, answer divided by 52, I should get 52 again. So play around with that, some of the numbers, and let's go back and try another thing you want to see. Okay, we did the answer button and usage and how you can multiply that again. Let's do some fractions. So enter 5, 6. Oh, wrong screen for me, sorry. I'm going to clear that out. Do 5 divided by 6. And it gives us a decimal. Well, I'd like to see it as a fraction. So on the table cue, if you have the 32XS, it's on the probability button. But on this calculator, it's on the table button right under the minus sign. And that could, ooh, I didn't do second. So 5 divided by 6. Now I want to convert that to a decimal. So second FD, and it writes it as a fraction. If you want to go back to the decimal, go FD and it converts.
How did you get the FD again? You just did the FD
Under
button?
the down arrow sign, there's the thing that says table, and then it says F, arrow, arrow, D. You find that?
Yeah.
And then once you enter, whoa. Let me clear again. Okay. So 5 divided by 6. And second FD, and it comes out as 5, 6. If we want to see 5, 6, we can press second answer and second FD. Now, I never used this button on any calculator in my life, so this has been a learning experience for me. Okay, so suppose we want to multiply that times 100. And that will move the decimal point. So let's go back and try something else if you're ready to move on. So enter the pi key. Okay. So pi is over in the first column, fourth button down from the green second button. Are we all using the same calculator?
Yes, I have the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Press pi. Now, I just was curious, will the calculator convert pi to a decimal? So I'm going to go second FD and be surprised at the result. It just gives me pi. So I'm going to go second answer, which is pi now. And I'm going to multiply that times 1. I can just type 1 here.
Sorry, I cannot keep up with you.
Okay.
When you had pi second function FD, and then
the answer is pi. It won't convert an irrational number to a decimal.
Yeah, I got that far. And then answer 100, you multiplied the answer by 100, right?
I'm just multiplying it by 1.
Okay, to get the word answer, how are you doing it? Is that the enter button? No.
Second minus button down at the bottom. Down here at the bottom.
That's right. Okay. Answer. No, it gave me minus, so I have to do something else.
So that's not letting me convert to the decimal. So on some of the questions we're going to be doing, it'll tell you to use pi directly. So be interesting to see what this will change to a percent. There, okay, so it's pi is 314%. So if we want to get back to what pi is, I can go divide by, let's go divide by 100, divide by 10. Oh, that was in percent. So let's convert that to percent. Well, let's divide by 10 again. And now we have the decimal of a percent of pi, and we want what pi really is. So I think we can get it if we multiply by 100.
Oops.
Well,
You got 11.
So I got to delete. I'm doing this on purpose, you know, because I never make mistakes. Second answer. And there we have pi. So this calculator is being accurate to 5 decimal places for irrational numbers. So
After you entered 100, you entered the multiplication sign, then
I didn't have to. It's just I just put the answer sign.
so it knows to multiply without
Yes,
putting in the
yes.
multiplication sign.
But it won't hurt to put it in if
Okay, that's
you
better
want to.
because initially that might be better for me.
You actually don't need to put the answer. If you just put 100, it automatically multiplies.
multiplies the last answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it did
That's-
for me before.
Let's try that. This is learning for
Just
all
hit,
of us.
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
have
don't
good
do
time.
that. Just hit enter.
Just multiply by 10. You
Uh,
have to multiply then 10, I think.
But I'm just multiplying the answer by 10. Oops.
No, you have to put in the multiplication sign, I think, at that point, because you don't have that.
Okay, let's just do 3.1. Let's do pi again.
Can you just hit the toggle switch right above enter and have it give you pi and decimal?
Let's find out. Yes. That's good to know. I didn't know that. Thank you, Brad.
Okay, can you repeat that,
Oh.
please? Sorry.
Okay. Let's divide this by 10. Now, if you do the button above, it tells us it's pi. This is above the enter button. And we have the decimal equivalent of pi. It's by the button right above the enter.
Sorry, which button is giving you the decimal value?
The one with the red that I've highlighted here is then
Oh, the
the
back and forth
last
button.
column, second from row from the bottom.
Yep, it works. So that's the button that converts it between decimal and symbol.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try 5 squared. So we're going to try to clear this other stuff out. So 5 squared. There's a squared button over here in the first column, 4th row up from the bottom. Says x squared. Puts a little 2 in there. And you could square it.
Oh, so you have to put in the button first and then?
No, you put the number. So here we
Yeah.
have the answer. It's going to square the answer.
After I put in 5, I just put in that button. Okay, maybe I did.
X squared button. Now
Second.
press the X squared button again. And we
Press
get
X button again, and then you get the square
625.
of that.
You want to do it again?
90625. Okay.
Now that should be 5 to the how many powers? 2, 4, 6. that 5 to the
That's 4, that's 4 and
5
4,
to
that's
4.
8.
5 to the 8th power.
Yep.
I see if we believe you. So I prefer to do exponents with the hat. So 5 hat 8. And you're right. We're right.
Oh, the hat is what we used to do. Okay.
Yeah. That's
Power 2.
that's what I always do. And
Yeah, if it is any other than power 2, you have to.
yeah. So if we clear that out, let's do the cube root of 8. So I would use 8 to the 1/3 power. So 8 hat 1/3, and it lets you type whatever expression you need there. And that should give us 2, I hope. But if I want to use the cube button, there's a cube root button here. Let me go back and show you. So, well, let's do it first.
I'm sorry, I'm going to slow you down again. Can you please go back to the beginning? Because when I hit the second button and the square root button, x square root, it gives me square root of 8, not.
Yeah, so if you do the second button, your last number was 2, so this is going to give us the square root of 8.
No, I didn't get the first line even, I'm sorry.
So right now I've pressed the second cube root of. So, but now I'm not doing the cube root, I'm doing the square root because my answer is 2. So if I do 16, I should get 4. If I want the 4th root, so second 4th root, now I'm using the 4 as my radicand. What is that? Radicand? No. I don't know what we call that anymore. It's been 15 years since I taught that. So we'll do the 4th root of 16 again. And we get 2. If I want to do the cube root, I can go cube root 3rd, that hat button, and that gives me the 3rd root of 27. Okay. All right. What other? The cube roots, square roots, reciprocals. -1 is the exponent on the reciprocal. So you can do 5. There's an x to the -1 button above the 7. That'll give us 5 to -1, which is the reciprocal. We can convert it to a decimal. I don't know why I put y equals there. Yeah. Oh, because the table button is activated here. I want to activate the table button. So 5 to -1. Enter. Now, will this convert it? Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Brad. I like learning stuff. So it's, and then we press that button again. That's a little quicker than going second table. So I want to try that again with pi. Doesn't want to do it. Okay. No, forget that. Okay. We did the 3rd powers, reciprocals. I think we can do some problems. So let's see. little background. If you want to do what we're doing today, you can go to log into Essential Education and get this out of the way. Do Product GED Academy, and then Content Map, and then View Practice Tests. There's 4 GED math practice tests. When you go there originally, there's a whole list of reading and spelling and all the sciences and social sciences, all the tests they have, but there's a little section in the middle that has four of those if you want to try and find out where these problems are coming from today. And when you go to that, when they show the calculator, they give you some calculator help. And so we're going to do this basic arithmetic right now on the calculator. So enter parentheses, we're going to do 5 minus 2 times -7 and see if we can get the answer. So 5 minus 2 times -7. So parentheses 5 minus 2 times -7. This is the calculator help you get if you press that button, which I'll show you in a second. And we got -21.
Could you please show again how to get the parentheses?
Okay, above the 8,
That parentheses, okay.
there's a parenthesis. And then 5 minus 2 parentheses times, I have my computer here and I always want to use that. -7. Oops. So delete, enter, get that. Okay, 65% of 150. Now I would never use 65%. I would just do 0.65. But we'll play their little game. 65% of 150. 65. And where is the percent key? I lost it.
Fourth column, third one down. Fourth column.
Fourth column.
Well, table 10 and underneath that, right parenthesis column. It's above the right parenthesis.
Above the right parenthesis.
Yeah, second one on the right parenthesis key. Right below the.
Left, okay, there it is. Second. All right, thank you. You can teach this next week. We should have to do this.
I thought it was the other one though.
Times what we're doing, 150. And we should get 97. No, that's can't be. Yes, you can. Okay. So your answers have to be reasonable. Okay. We didn't go over the 10th power. Again, I'd just use a hat with 10, but we'll try doing this. 2 times 3 to the 4th power, 10 to the 4th power, plus 6.7 times 10 to the 4th power. So let's try that. 2 times, the 10th power key is in the 3rd column, 3rd row. And then we want to do the 4th power. Oops. Not the 104th power. Not 2 times. Okay. 10, well, I guess so, yeah. plus, oops. So to get down to reality, I press the down button. Plus 6.7. I'm going to go back and insert right here, hopefully.
I think the 10 to the n has the times built into it, so you don't want to do a times and then 10 to the n,
Okay,
because it gives you 2 times.
let's see if I can do this. 2 times 10 to the 4th. I have the arrow, I think. I don't know if it gave that direction or not. Plus 6.7 times 10 to the 4th.
Is there any way to delete the previous entry? If I enter 6 instead of 7, can I go back and delete that?
If you go second arrow over there, what do you want to change? The 6 to you got a 7 here.
Yeah,
So on the 6, go second insert. And then you can change that to 7 or
you have to
delete.
delete them.
Oops, well, I did it on the computer on my computer instead of the calculator. So start again. 2 times 10 to the 4th. And that's what that little symbol there meant there. Plus 6.7.
When I do that plus, it does not give me the plus where you have it.
Yeah, it's up
I
there on the
get it.
4.
Yeah, I get it with the 4, so it's adding to 4 and not to
Okay.
the whole thing.
So go back to that plus sign and
Okay,
delete it. But we still have to insert second insert.
so
Well,
it is a second insert.
And that should
No,
give
that
you
didn't
that.
bring it down though.
So you have to
Nope.
delete it first when it's up there. So if we had 2 times 10 to the 4th, and then we put the 6 up there, and we didn't want that. So we can just delete it immediately and then press the arrow button to get down to reality in the row that's there.
How did you get to that down there again? I'm sorry.
The arrow buttons over.
Oh, so I have to bring it down to the regular level. It's not
I
moving.
don't know. No, you have to do the right arrow. Moves to the next
Thank
space.
you.
And
Makes a
then
big difference. 6.7.
plus 6
Oh, plus 6.7.
times 10 to the 4th and enter. So I think
Times 10
that's what we're supposed to get.
again.
We're supposed to get 97. It says we're supposed to get 97,000. Oh, I didn't do the 2.3. So it should have been 2.3 here. So up arrow gets me there. Can I edit it now? So back arrow. Yeah. Yeah. So I have to insert here.
Was it times 3?
That's 2.3.
2.3.
Yeah.
Second insert.
Point.
0.3.
And that should
Times
go.
is there, so that should be.
And there's our 90,000.
Yay, I got it. Thank you.
All right. So let's hear some of my test taking hints. I don't like to use the calculator on tests because it takes too long to find the right buttons, and I don't trust my fingers to find the right buttons. So whenever you're taking a test, just read the question, write down the relevant numbers you're going to use, decide what operations will be necessary, plus, minus, all those good things we've just gone over. FD sometimes will do it. Write down an equation that could be used on a separate piece of paper. If it's giving a rounded answer, you can use 3 for pi, otherwise use pi since we have the luxury of that key. If your answer doesn't appear, try to rule out obviously impossible answers. And finally, answer all the questions, look at the answers, read answers into the question to see which one makes sense. Okay, first problem. This is on GED test, and we're going to go through about 6 of these from test 1 and a few from the other. So this is question 3 on GED practice test 1. Sorry about that.
Question 13, okay, 3.
And this particularly was, we don't want to do all this by hand. They're testing, this is not a calculator problem. They want you to do it without a calculator, but I thought it would be good practice to enter that into the calculator and do it. But as you're taking the test, you have to know the order of operations. So we're going to do the parentheses first, and get 3, and square it, get 9. Remember that, and then go left to right. So 80 divided by 4 is 20, minus 2 times 9, 18. So the answer should be 2. If you do it on the calculator, we'll see. And I've entered these test questions from the GED site, from the Essential Education, and we'll be able to be active with them and show what hints are available for this. Okay, this one is from the CASAS math goals, and it involves a little geometry. You don't really need the calculator, but you do need, if you do need the calculator, if you don't have any arithmetic skills, what would you do to find out the angle in the question mark? So we have 36, we got 25, we're going to add them, subtract them, multiply them, divide them. Ask yourself that question, and the answer will be 11. Okay. Oh, okay, I like that. I like you over there instead of where you've been. So here we have question 1, question 12, and we have a trapezoid. So if I had a piece of scratch paper, I'd draw the trapezoid. And I'm taking the GED test. I don't know what the formula for the area of a trapezoid is. So on the test itself, the practice test, I don't know if it's on the real test. Excuse me. No, I don't. Yes, I got to put you over here. So on each one of these pages in the slideshow, I put this link, and it'll take a while to load. So if you can do the problem by yourself, that would be appreciated while we wait for this to load. There it is. So when you get to the actual practice test, you can click on this formula page, and it gives all the formulas that you're going to need on the test. So before you can use the calculator, you have to know the formulas, and these are the ones that they provide. They give you a sheet on the test, but on the practice test, they just have it there at your disposal. So what do we want? We want the trapezoid. Area is 1/2 the height, base times the base. What do we have given here? We have a height, that's good. So we need half of that, that's 12. And we need the length of the bases, something plus 30 times 12. And the answer is 864. So we're going to divide 12 into 864 and then subtract 30. And I'm fortunate enough to have these explanations because I took the test a couple days ago, and it let me review all my answers and explain the answers and see what was there. So I would do half of 24 in my head, and I'd divide by 12 instead of multiplying that out in the parentheses as an algebra teacher. And then subtract 360 from 864. But I would, since I divided by 12, anyway, I'd get 42. Did you get 42?
Yep.
Okay. So now I'm going to put you back over here. And we're going to do number 13. So on my screen, I can just go to the next one. And I'm ready to roll now. So this is an inequality, which it says use the calculator for. But again, I looked at the answers right away and I said, oh, the answer is going to be -3 or -4 with an inequality going some way or the other. So I ignored the decimals and said, what minus 2 times t is 7? Is that -3 or is that -4? So -2 times -3 is 6. So I've narrowed down the answers to the 2 3s. Now, which is going to make it bigger and which is going to make it less? Is this, do we want numbers bigger than 3 or less than 3? And so I put in a number that is bigger than 3. So this answer, if I put in 0.2, I will get 4 and 1 and 5. That's not greater than 7. So my answer is going to be 0.3. But they explain it. Do it algebraically, do it on your piece of paper. Don't do it in your head. Work it out. And the thing to remember is when you divide inequalities by -2, the inequality sign changes direction. So any questions on that? Kim, are you there? I don't see your
I'm
picture.
here. I am. I'm listening.
I forgot you're there. If you have any questions, just stop me. 'Cause once I get going, I'm pretty much unstoppable. This isn't one we're going to do. Number 15, is that loaded on your screen already?
Yep.
Okay, we're not going to do that one either. Here we go. Read the question. What are we dealing with here? Move back over here. Looks like we're going to need a formula. It says use 3.14. We can use the actual 3.1. We're going to use the calculator anyway. We might as well use pi.
Radius times height.
What?
The volume should be height times pi r squared. Radius
Correct.
is
But we look for the formula. We're talking about a cylinder. So the surface area is here and the volume is here. And so we got pi r squared h. We're given radius of 3 and 12. And what percent of the volume of the flask is not filled with liquid? We have to read the question a lot. So first, how much of the flask is used? So we have to do pi r squared h. So pi times 3 times 12.
the h.
The 3 is squared. So 9 times 12. Pi times pi.
108.
And then, so the percent we're going to need is 108 divided by 200.
Yep.
So, oh, 339 was the volume of the whole thing. We have to subtract 200 to get the answer of 41%. Any questions? Okay. I want to go back and look at question 10. Okay, a story problem. Oh no, I hate story problems. So write down some numbers. We got 12 employees. And each employee makes 2,300 in profit sharing. And 5% of the profits are distributed evenly to the employees. So we want 5% of X equals 12 times 2,300.
Yep.
So 12 times 2,300 divided by 0.05. Let's see if that works out right. So 12 times 2,300, and we want 5% of that. So we'll go,
Multiplied by 5%. Divided by
5. I'll use this little key. I don't have to do that. And that's 1380. That's not good.
it doesn't sound right.
No. So I'm gonna kick it out. Where was that a minute ago? Lost my place. Okay, we're working on question 10. And let's see. Not question 10, that's question 11. Okay. So let's explain the answer. So they converted 5 to a decimal. 12 times 2300. Oh, I've multiplied by 0.05. So we're supposed to divide by 0.05. So not a good calculator student. Did you get that?
Yes.
Done? Move on. Okay. Okay, we did this one, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's go on to test number 2. So there's 25 questions on each test. And oh, we didn't do number 4. Do number 4. Good fraction problem. Um, so we have a half empty at 1/12 full. We have to get to 2/3 full. So what is 2/3 full as a fraction? That would add to 1/12 or subtract from 1/12. So 2/3 is 8/12. And we're going to subtract 1/12, enough to fill the tank. And the answer should be 7/12. Ready to go on? I see Brad's ready to go on.
Yeah.
Can we go on? Kim?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Which is largest? 15%. I did this with Mahari yesterday. And obviously 0.153 is bigger than 15%, but 1/7 and 1/12. 1/7 is bigger than 1/12 because 12 is a bigger denominator. So it'll be a smaller number. So on my calculator, I'm just going to do 1/7. And 7 into 1 goes about 14 times. So it's 1.4 and something. So the largest answer would be 0.0153. With or without the calculator. Okay. Circumference of 188.4 feet. What's the radius? Well, the circumference is 2 pi r. So we're going to have to divide
2 pi.
2 pi. And we get 30. And the area is pi r squared. So we have to divide by 9 pi. We should get 28/26.
So if you just press that button, it gives you the answers. You had put it in before.
I had
right?
prepared.
Okay.
I had pre-done it, and here's the explanation that's there. Now it's 10 o'clock. We can go on, or can do a lot more of these problems. I'd like to do one more if you have a moment to spare. Let's do number 25. That's 25. So on the practice test that the GED that this comes from, you have 60 minutes to do the 25 questions. And some of them are very easy, and some are really complicated with the formulas and everything. And there's some slope problems and graphing problems. And Brad has made a GED test if you'd like to practice the whole kit and caboodle, but you can just go to the Essential Ed site, GED questions, and do practice test 1 and 2. So we got 32,404 people, at least half the population of Sherwood, which inequality represents the population of Baker. So just using my test taking skills, I know the answer is going to be 16,202. I just have to get that inequality right, which is a reading problem. So the population is at least half. So is that more? Is 16,202, is that one of the answers? Or we want at least half, so we have to be bigger than 16,202. Do we want the equal sign underneath or not?
At least the half, so yes.
Okay, so we'll go with greater than or equal to, and we passed. I didn't, but you guys did, gals, women, professors, whatever. Apologized. Okay, so finishing up. Those are the ones we did. So if you want more practice on this particular calculator, there's a YouTube video. And it takes 25 minutes to go through that. And it explains all the steps if you want to watch that. I think somehow you'll have access to this page when we're the whole slideshow when we're done. And that's, I forgot to mention the other things. So Brad and I did these two. Brad mostly did it, as you can tell. I'm not that handy with the Zoom meetings. Did these where there are math and science problems and social study problems that require a math background to succeed in the science and social studies. And then we did a math presentation. I think we did this math practice exam. Is that right, Brad? But anyway, the PowerPoint presentation was there, and there as well. And they're probably all available on YouTube via Lori. So in conclusion, that's all. Thanks for participating. In 2 weeks, I'll try and teach some low-level students how to learn how to do fractions for the first time and multiplication, and use the calculator to do that or not. If you have any questions at any time, just call me or text me. I don't always have my phone on. I don't always have my phone with me. And how do I stop the recording? I suspect if I end, we will stop recording. Are there any questions in chat?
No, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for
your time.
going through there
Thank
and
you.
suffering through my
Thank
Zoom
you.
problem. Thank you, Brad and Kim, and I forgot already. No, I think she left already. Mahudri. I'm sorry I pronounced you.
Madhuri, and that's good.
Madhuri.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Goodbye.
I'm available all month. So just-
Lori, oops. Do any of you know the name of the YouTube channel that OLC was talking about?
Lori knows it. I don't know if she'll provide links or not to that.
Okay, I just found one, so okay, I'll keep looking. Thank you.
Okay. So have a good week, and if you want to come back in 2 weeks, I appreciate your input. Makes my meetings go longer. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. This was
Mm.
fun. A lot to think about. Thank you.